Welcome in. I'm Dan Cummins from Highland Meadows. This is our Teeing Off the Dana Open special. For the next half hour, we'll bring you stories and highlights from out here at Highland Meadows Golf Club, where there was a Pro-Am today. Normally the golf tournament's around July, late July, sometimes 4th of July, but this year it's been pushed back to Labor Day weekend like the tournament was last year out at the Inverness Club, the Solheim Cup. Now we have the first round coming up tomorrow from Highland Meadows with tee times bright and early at about 7:30 in the morning. Now, we've got our team set up all over the golf course to help you get ready for this week's coverage of the Dana Open presented by Marathon. Chris Vickers will be here with this week's forecast. We've got Tyler Segerman and Kaylee Kirby out here getting you ready for what should be an exciting week out here in Sylvania at Highland Meadows Golf Club. Last year was Nasa Hataoka that came away on top. She shot the best 54-hole score in tournament history and was 19 under heading into the final round on Sunday. But oh my, it was a messy finish. A rain-filled final round forced the Marathon Classic to come to a close after just 3 rounds. Hataoka was crowned the champion and won with a 6-shot lead. She is back to defend her crown and will be going up against a crowded field here at Highland Meadows, featuring all the 5 LPGA major champions from this year, including the world #2 player, Minjee Lee. Chris Vickers joins me now. Chris, we've seen a whole variety of weather out here at Highland Meadows over the years. Sometimes we've seen a deluge of rain that actually delayed things, extreme heat. Remember one year back in, I think it was the 90s, they had to take the golfers on a golf cart to get through the water to the second tee out there. It was crazy, but yeah, we've got a whole variety.
Well, it's very difficult. We got 10 Mile Creek that kind of runs right behind us that cuts through parts of Highland Meadows golf course, and when that floods, it floods. Now, we're fortunate we don't have any issues or risks this weekend. We're going to be looking at beautiful sunshine, bright skies, and gorgeous conditions. And we're out here today live getting you prepared for the Dana Open. It's the Pro-Am that's taking place right now. Beautiful conditions, although that breeze did pick up a bit this afternoon. And if we're looking forward to our opening round forecast, we're going to be talking those tee times in the morning. A little cool, a little crisp, back in the upper 50s and low 60s. And I expect by the afternoon, we're going to be warming very nicely through the upper 70s. Should reach right around the low to mid 80s. May top out right around 84 degrees. A perfect first day of September as we kick off golf this season, and we're so excited to have the Dana Open here back out at Highland Meadows. Dan, what do you think about the course? It looks spectacular at this point.
You know, they do a top-notch job. They always have. They always do out here. And, of course, the weather conditions have been really ideal. Some years with the real heavy heat, I mean, sometimes a fairway will die here and there. The greens might have some issues, but none of that right now.
Dan, this looks almost as good as your front lawn.
My front lawn, Chris, we talk about all the time, is looking as good as it ever has.
Yeah, when you compare that to the golf course, bottom line is conditions are prime for good scoring this week, and it should be very competitive this week.
Yeah, as long as there's no rain and the winds stay down. Of course, you know, like I do, sometimes the morning and the afternoon are completely different for whoever is golfing in that session. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see. Chris, thank you.
Can't wait.
Thanks a lot. Well, the Dana Open had some fireworks early in the week. Of course, we had the qualifier going at Stone Oak Country Club. Remember this name, Gianna Clemente. She's 14 years old. She shot a 3 under to qualify for this week's tournament and has now won back-to-back Monday qualifiers on the LPGA circuit. Although she's young, she doesn't let it faze her, and she's loving to be out here every day out here in Highland Meadows and compete with all the LPGA stars.
They're unpredictable. I mean, anybody can shoot any number on any given day, so I just try and go out in there and play my game, and you get a caddy in these qualifiers, so, you know, with my dad on the bag, we're just going out there and playing fun, and if you play good, you make it. If you don't, you know, you can try again. Everybody knows that I'm young, but I don't really think that has an effect on it. You know, if I play good in the Monday qualifiers and I make it, you know, I earn my place, and these are just a bonus. You know, it's fun to go out and play with my dad, and if I make the cut this time, you know, I'll be happy, but if I don't, you know, it's just an amazing experience.
It's been a pretty wild summer overall. She's been playing some really great golf. She's very driven, very motivated, and I wouldn't say it's surprising. This is kind of where she's wanted to be hanging out since she was this big. Maybe a little surprising that it's this early, but any chance she can get out here and play against the best, I'm sure she's going to take it.
I have quite the experience with the spotlight. I've always been the youngest one, whether it's junior golf or amateur golf or professional golf. I've always been the youngest, so I have some experience with being the youngest, and it doesn't bother me at all. And I love the spotlight. I've always loved the attention, so this is kind of where I thrive, and this is where I feel most at home. So I think, you know, it's just just going out and playing golf. My school started about 2 weeks ago, and I'm all online, so I have all the classes any normal freshman would, but I just do it all on my computer. And I'm a little bit behind, but that's okay. The last 2 weeks have been kind of crazy. I haven't really had much time. I'm always like staying up late or getting up really early to do it. So I'm trying my best to keep on track, but I'm seeing a little bit of overdue marks on my schoolwork. We're getting there.
Clemente will try to get things going early this morning with her first round as a pro, or well, a semi-pro playing in a pro tournament anyway. She tees off just after 9 a.m. Now let's go over to Tyler Segerman, who's going to tell us about his talking with a very familiar name here in Toledo. That is Stacy Lewis.
That's right, Dan. From one Ohio player to another, Stacy Lewis making a return to the city where she was born. And Toledo has certainly been great to her in recent years. Back-to-back finishes inside the top 10 the last 2 times she has played this course. Of course, the big news surrounding the 36-year-old is the Solheim Cup. Next year in Spain, Lewis will become the youngest player ever to captain at Team USA after making 4 previous appearances. One of the most successful careers in women's golf. The 2-time Player of the Year hopes she can add Dana Open champion to her list of accolades. Now, she does come into this weekend off a bit of a break, yet the Toledo native believes rest, not rust, will once again make her a contender.
I'm thinking of playing good. I feel like I'm trending in the right direction. I've been working on quite a few things. Didn't play a lot the last 2 months, really. Kind of took some time off this summer, so more rested and, excited for the week. The greens are probably a little bit on the firmer side, I would say, than normal. Rough is up, so, they've moved a couple tees back, so a couple holes are playing a little bit longer, but yeah, it's as good as it always is.
Lewis won't have to wait long to get her round started. She tees off in Group 9, which is scheduled to tee off at 8 a.m. on hole number 1. Dan, back to you.
Tyler, thank you. We'll take our first break here in our program. We have lots more to get to out here at Highland Meadows. Every year, the Dana Open, of course, is very generous to their children's charities in Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. When we come back, we'll hear from just a few of them. Stick with us.
Well, we got beautiful sunny weather for our Wednesday evening, and as we get ready to roll into another gorgeous night tonight, we've got sunshine that's going to stick around till a little bit after 8 o'clock, and the breeze that's been up through the course of the day today has been refreshing for late August. But we are getting ready to roll into early September, and if you could believe it, tomorrow is going to be the first day of September, also going to be the kickoff of really an important time in golf here across Northwest Ohio. The Dana Open going to be taking place, and let's talk your 4-day forecast. And I expect tomorrow one of the nicer days, those tee times in the morning, a little cool, a little crisp as we're back into the lower 60s through about 8 a.m. Noon, we're climbing through the upper 70s, and I expect by the afternoon we'll reach into the low to mid 80s. Breeze will be a little lighter for Thursday. Friday, a little more heat. We'll hit toward 87 degrees. Dry days, Thursday, Friday. There's no doubt about that one. Saturday, Sunday, mainly dry weather. Very slim chance, about a 20% chance, an isolated pop-up shower storm. Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon would not be enough or widespread to really impact or cancel any play out here at Highland Meadows. But I do expect we'll stay warm and humid on Saturday. The warmer of the 2 weekend days will be Saturday, near 90 degrees, and then dip it back into the mid-80s for a picture-perfect finish out here at Highland Meadows. We didn't quite get that picture-perfect finish last year, and it was all due to the weather.
It was an empty feeling, I think, for the fans, the golfers, the sponsors, everyone out here. Just an empty feeling where you get keyed up, Chris, and you go through the whole week. And all right, big one coming up tomorrow. Of course, the leader, the eventual winner, had a big lead, but still, there's always drama on Sunday. And of course, it's great to see people out here, and so it was just an empty feeling. People did come out for a while, but like, nah, I'm going to head home now.
Well, with the change in the time too, so the tournament now being played into Labor Day weekends kind of helped us out a little bit because we beat the heat that we had in the midsummer. We had a hot summer as well, as you know, and a very wet and unsettled summer. So to get weather like this has been spectacular. Pro-Am, a little breezy today for the scoring out there at the Pro-Am, but by the time tournament gets kicked off tomorrow, it is going to be spectacular.
But Chris, back in the day when the tournament was normally on 4th of July weekend, It was accepted, it was fine, so I think a holiday may really help people. They're kind of like, this is a great way to finish up the year.
Looking forward to see how it gets teed up tomorrow.
Yeah, but there's so much going on right now, right? You've got the Rockets opener tomorrow night at the Glass Bowl. You've got high school football on Friday. So many great things happening right now in Northwest Ohio. Going to be a lot of fun for you, the fan. They're figuring thousands of people will be coming out here tomorrow for the first round at Highland Meadows, watching the best women golfers in the world, competing for thousands of dollars. And of course, Kaylee Kirby joins us now. Kaylee Kirby, you're finding out that, well, of course, the children's charities always benefit. This is something from back in 1984, the very first year of the Jamie Farr tournament. They always wanted to make sure they had charities involved, and that has really made it go.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Dan. There will be thousands of people coming to our area, and with those thousands of people, tens of thousands of dollars, as you mentioned, going to charities, 19 of them to be exact, right here in our area, and the fundraising for this is already underway.
We are on a mission to support our schools and our teachers and our families with intentional tutoring after school.
Tutor Smart Toledo has been in the community for about 5 years, offering free tutoring to students across the city. It's one of 19 organizations chosen as a charity to benefit from the revenue this year's Dana Open brings in.
What we really try to do is we bring the tutoring into the community where it's lower stakes. We're not, calling you out in front of your friends. We do it in very small groups, or we do it online even. For our kids who are really far behind, we have an online tutoring that's one-to-one.
On any given day, Tutor Smart Toledo is helping around 350 kids. Its goal as one of the chosen charities is to use the money they get to expand into other parts of town. Another charity, Food for Thought, is helping the community in a different way. The group started by offering sandwiches to the homeless in downtown 15 years ago and has evolved into something much bigger.
We're seeing a lot more families. We're seeing a lot more kids come through. It's not just homeless individuals that we're serving. And then about 8 to 10 years ago, we branched into offering food pantries.
But providing meals multiple times a month is not easy or cheap, especially since the item that costs the most is the fresh produce they offer.
It takes about $650 per pantry every month to run that pantry. And that's just the food pantry. And that takes into account, the food, the staff, the truck maintenance, the gas, things like that.
Now, for both of these charities, it is the first time they've been selected as a charity to benefit here at the Dana Open. Each of them had to submit a proposal with an amount of money that they are looking to get. For Tutor Smart, they're looking to get upwards of $30,000, and for Food for Thought, they're looking to get anywhere around $15,000. They will find out that exact number at the end of this year. We'll be back right after this break.
Welcome back in. I'm Dan Cummins, live from Highland Meadows. We're on WTOL 11. As these golfers make the way to town, it's not all about the golf, right? The grind of the season can take a toll on the golfers, and Tyler Segerman has more on that.
That's right, Dan. Challenges are finding ways to escape the golf course as a challenge every tour player faces. It's a long, grueling season, but the cool thing about the LPGA coming to Toledo is the fact they have that outlet, a way for golfers, caddies, and their families to relax and have fun. It's something I saw firsthand last night at Bolero Lanes.
We really don't get together that often outside this tournament, so this is a really special day and a special night.
The unique opportunity for LPGA golfers to step away from work and have a little fun returned to Bolero Lanes Tuesday night following a 2-year COVID hiatus.
Having them back here, it really shows we're back. Everything's back. Everything's in full swing again. So definitely loving them coming back. I love getting that message saying, hey, we want to come back. I loved it.
Some players proved they can knock pins down as well as they can aim for one.
And not only they're amazing golfers, best in the world obviously, but they're really good bowlers.
Others, well, not so much.
No, very low expectations on my end, so I think there's some good ones in here somewhere, so I think we'll get some good numbers.
Regardless of what the screens portrayed, having an event aimed at taking their mind off of golf provided everyone with a winning experience.
Basically, just to show them a good time. I mean, if anybody knows anything about golf, it's a long schedule for them. So anytime they can let their hair down, they do it, and they have a great time.
This year marked the biggest turnout since the event began. Shutting off the lights perhaps chipped in a bit, yet the players were in agreement. Not much compares to what Toledo offers away from the course.
It's just such a cool thing to get us all together as a tour, like the players and the caddies. We see each other every day, but we don't get to like hang out outside of the golf course very often, so it's just nice to do something fun and, you know, blow off some steam and enjoy ourselves.
We don't get to do a lot of things outside the golf course, and I think this week it's really fun to come out with all of us, and we're a traveling circus, so we get to come out and have fun with each other and relax and kind of get away from the golf course.
It'll be interesting to see if there's any correlation between those who bowled last night and their play this weekend. As you heard Emma Talley and Charlotte Thomas tell me how important it is just to escape from the game in terms of their preparation leading into a tournament. And obviously, they haven't had that here in Toledo for the past couple of years, but they were able to experience that last night. Now, with a woman who has had plenty of time to prepare, here's Dan.
All right, thanks, Tyler. You know, one thing about the bowling, you don't want to hurt your wrist when you're out there, do you? Well, another golfer that's no stranger to Toledo is Paula Creamer. She's been on the injured list. She had a baby. It's such a great story she is, though. She's making her season debut at the Dana Open in her first tournament in over a year. Creamer gave birth to her daughter back in January and has been away from the game since while on maternity leave. She's always loved this stop on the LPGA Tour. Now, she won here in 2008, included shooting a record 60 in the first round, putting her at 11 under for the first day of the tournament. And she learns now how to balance a baby and golf. She feels good about where her game is after being away from the game and is excited to hit the course beginning tomorrow.
I feel great. I'm really excited to be back. It's definitely a different feel, obviously being a mom now and coming back out on tour, but I actually left on Sunday. I don't think I've ever really left that early before for a tournament, but I knew that I needed to kind of get out here and see a lot of the faces that I haven't seen before or for the last year or so. But I love coming to Toledo, so this is a great spot in return for me to start my comeback after maternity.
Time for another break here from Highland Meadows. When we come back, there was more than just golf. We had the Women's Summit yesterday. We'll talk about that. And the high school football season is entering week 3. We'll introduce you to this week's Band of the Week when we come back.
Welcome back to our live coverage as we kick off the 2022 Dana Open out here at Highland Meadows at a perfect day weather-wise. Wednesday's going to lead to another great day Thursday as we officially get the tournament underway. Those morning tee times going to be nice and cool, back closer to the lower 60s. Highs tomorrow, we'll make it back into the 80s, low to mid 80s, right around 84 for the peak temp tomorrow. We'll warm up increasingly so Friday and Saturday, upper 80s on Friday, right around 90 Saturday, and then Sunday cools back a little bit, mid 80s. We'll get through majority of the weekend absolutely dry, very slim chance of a shower storm Saturday or Sunday, nothing that would be widespread.
Chris, thanks. Thumbs up on that forecast, huh? Well, the Women's Summit is one of the kickoff events for the Dana Open this year. It happened yesterday, and some of our team from WTO 11 were there for the luncheon. Kaylee Kirby's live with more on that. Kaylee?
Yeah, Dan, Drive to Thrive was the theme of this year's summit, although it's not just about bringing women together to talk about all of this. It was the 6th annual Women's Summit. The focus was on empowerment and growth. Hundreds of us from the community packed the new Glass City Center. The goal is to celebrate and honor women and highlight what we bring to the table, whether it be in life or in work. We talk about the challenges women have gone through, how we've overcome it, and how to be empowered. And for the women attending the event, they say it's a chance to grow through hearing other people's perspectives and other people's stories.
Everybody here has been so open and welcoming. I mean, just even talking to other people, we're all kind of picking each other's brains and learning new things, and everybody has been very helpful, and we're in this community together, and I think we can all only just lift each other up.
We innately compare ourselves to one another, and we wish we could be something else when we just have to be authentically ourselves and understand that everyone's on their own journey and that we just need to be inspired by one another and not compare ourselves to our journeys, and really kind of experience the diversity and adversity that every woman brings to the table.
Now, each year, the leaders of this event say it continues to grow. In fact, this year, they actually had to hold it at a new place, which I mentioned was the Glass City Center, to allow it to open up to more people to be able to attend this event. Dan, back to you.
Kaylee, thank you. We talked about this a little while ago. Very busy week in Northwest Ohio. We've got the Highland Meadows for the Dana Open is coming up. You got the Rockets home openers come tomorrow night, and high school football week 3 is coming up, and that means it's time to unveil our band of the week for Marco's Pizza, and this week it's the St. Francis Marching Band. The Knights Band currently has 31 members. They're under the direction of Carl Collier, and the unique part about them, not only do they have members from St. Francis, they also have members from Notre Dame Academy and St. Ursula. The seniors take a trip each June to New York City and are planning to play in the Elmwood Band Festival in September. This group has put in a ton of work since the beginning of August and love to play under the Friday night lights and beyond.
I'm just absolutely blown away by this. Like, usually, I wouldn't even think about this in a million years, and I'm so happy.
It's really fun, especially when you get a lot of audience participation. And the clapping and the cheering, that makes it all worth it in the end, all the time spent.
All right. Congratulations to the St. Francis Band. Beautiful weekend.
You get Dan Cummins talking sports and Chris Vickers talking weather. That's a whole lot of fun.
A little bit of rust today, but we're getting through it.
It looks great.
More news coming up top of the hour in WTO 11. Have a great night.